Krishna's teachings in the Bhagavad Gita are profound and cover a wide range of topics, including the nature of the self, the importance of duty, the path to spiritual liberation, and the relationship between the individual and the divine. Here's a detailed explanation of Krishna's teachings according to the Bhagavad Gita. 1. The nature of the self, Atman. Immortality of the soul. Krishna explains to Arjuna that the soul, Atman, is eternal, indestructible, and beyond the physical body. While the body is perishable and subject to death, the soul never dies. It merely transitions from one body to another, just as one discards old clothes for new ones. Verse 220. The soul is neither born and nor does it die. It does not come into being or cease to exist. It is unborn, eternal, permanent, and primeval. The soul is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. 2. Dharma, duty and righteousness. Duty of a warrior. Krishna reminds Arjuna of his duty, dharma, as a kshatriya, warrior, to fight in the war for the sake of righteousness. Abandoning his duty would be sinful, and it would bring dishonor. Verse 231. Considering your dharma, you should not waver. For a warrior, there is nothing more honorable than a war against evil. Detachment from results. Krishna advises performing one's duties without attachment to the outcomes. This concept is central to Karma Yoga, the yoga of selfless action. Verse 2.47. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. 3. Paths to liberation, moksha. Krishna outlines different paths, yogas, to spiritual liberation, each suited to different temperaments and stages of life. A. Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. Selfless action. Karma Yoga involves performing one's duties without attachment to the fruits of the work. By doing so, one can purify the mind and attain liberation. Krishna emphasizes that action is inevitable, and it's better to perform one's duty with detachment than to avoid it. Verse 319. Therefore, without attachment, perform your obligatory duty, because by doing so, one attains the supreme. B. Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion. Devotion to God. Bhakti Yoga is the path of love and devotion to God. Krishna teaches that by dedicating all actions, thoughts, and emotions to God, one can achieve union with the divine. Bhakti is characterized by surrender, love, and devotion. Verse 922. To those who are constantly devoted and who worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. C. Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. Wisdom and discernment. Jnana Yoga involves the pursuit of spiritual knowledge and the understanding of the true nature of the self and the universe. Through the discernment of the eternal from the transient, one can achieve liberation. Verse 434. Approach a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you, because they have seen the truth. 4. The vision of the universal form, Vishvarupa. Krishna's universal form. In the 11th chapter, Krishna reveals his cosmic form to Arjuna, which displays his infinite power and the entire universe within him. This vision demonstrates that Krishna is the supreme being who pervades and transcends all of creation. Verse 11:10-11. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and held many divine weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all-expanding. 5. The field and the knower of the field, Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the body and the soul. In the 13th chapter, Krishna explains the distinction between the body, Kshetra, and the soul, Kshetrajna. The body is the field of activities, while the soul is the knower of this field. True knowledge involves understanding this distinction. Verse 13:2. This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. 6. The three gunas, qualities of nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Krishna explains that all beings and actions are influenced by three qualities, gunas of nature. Sattva, goodness, purity; rajas, passion, activity; and tamas, ignorance, inertia. Understanding these gunas helps in transcending them and attaining liberation. Verse 14.5. Sattva, rajas, and tamas are the qualities which arise from material nature. O mighty-armed Arjuna, they bind the imperishable soul to the body. 7. The supreme goal, moksha, liberation through devotion, Krishna concludes by emphasizing that the ultimate goal of life is to attain moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. This is achieved through devotion, knowledge, and selfless action. By surrendering to God and understanding one's true nature, one can attain eternal peace. Verse 18:6, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. 8. The role of the divine will, surrender to the divine. Krishna teaches that everything in the universe operates under the divine will. By aligning oneself with this will and surrendering to God, one can find true peace and fulfillment. Verse 18:61. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. 9. The importance of faith and discipline. Faith, shraddha, and discipline, tapas. Krishna emphasizes that faith and disciplined practice are essential for spiritual progress. Without faith, even the most diligent practice may not bear fruit. Discipline in thought, word, and deed purifies the mind and leads one closer to the divine. Verse 7-3. The faith of each is in accordance with one's own nature. A person is made up of faith, as is his faith, so is he. 10. Renunciation, sannyasa, and detachment, tyaga. True renunciation. Krishna distinguishes between external renunciation of the world, sannyasa, and true inner detachment, tyaga. True renunciation involves giving up attachment to the fruits of action, not necessarily giving up action itself. It is the inner detachment that leads to liberation. Verse 18.9. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus is untouched by water. 11. The eternal presence of God, Krishna. God is the ultimate reality. Krishna asserts that he is the ultimate cause of all creation, the source of all power, and the sustainer of all beings. Recognizing this eternal presence of God in all things leads to the realization of the divine and ultimately to liberation. Verse 10:20. I am the Self, O Gudakesha, seated in the hearts of all creatures. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. 12. The final message. Surrender and devotion. In his final message to Arjuna, Krishna emphasizes the importance of complete surrender to God. By doing so, one can transcend all dualities and difficulties and attain eternal peace and joy. Verse 18:65. Always think of me, become my devotee,